All right, Pro Schmo Bet community, Teixeira, Derek, Lewis, who is it? And I'm opening this up with the bets. We're going to give you the bets, and I also want full disclosure here, okay? We will chase on Steve Garcia, God forbid, the bets don't cash. I'm letting you know right now, Steve Garcia, he's ranking against Calvin Kattar. He's going for that rank. And I'm going to explain how. Although Mahashe got him with a counter right hand, put him out. Put out Steve Garcia. And although there is a good shot sequence, good shot selection behind Calvin Kattar's boxing, I actually think that it's incredible how, between both fighters and their fighting style and the kickboxing of Steve Garcia and the offensive grappling he's either submitting Calvin Kattar, this potential purple belt, in brown belt, Steve Garcia purple belt and Calvin Kattar, or he's getting fed that counter right. And Steve Garcia is getting that lick back. All right, he's getting that lick back. Calvin Kattar going out with a counter right, with a counter of his own, Steve Garcia's own. This is the bet, and there's absolutely no way you can't have two separate parlays here between Fatima Klein. Put that on there. Fatima Klein. Put that on there. Fatima Klein. First leg. All right. The next leg is going to be Jacob Matthews. Second leg, plus 108. And we're going with Eduardo Mora. All right. That offensive grappling. And wow, man, how she put a stop on Veronica Hardy's incredible. And then we're going with Gabriel Bonfim. He's also getting ranked. He's getting ranked against Stephen Thompson. And we will go with Morgan Charriere. All right, so Gabriel Bonfim, Morgan Charriere on one parlay, and then we have Klein, we have Jake Matthews plus 108, and we have Eduardo Mora on a separate parlay. God forbid the parlay goes bust, okay? We have no choice then, absolutely no choice but to go all in on Steve Garcia. All right, guys, so we're going to go through this very quickly, very briefly. We're going to open up with the first fight. It's Fatima Klein, Melissa Martinez. Melissa is fast. She's much stronger than Klein, and she's much more accurate than Klein. Okay, she employs kicks. She's great on the feet. Fatima is too. She's kickboxing from a young age, Thai boxing from a young age with Erin Blanchfield. She's grappling too with Erin Blanchfield. And that's the upside here. That's the edge. That's why this number is so wide. Elise Reed, had a number on Melissa. Melissa's susceptible to the ground. And Fatima Klein could win a whole round that way. I would think it's far-fetched her to get a submission on Melissa Martinez. Melissa Martinez will do her utmost to get back on their feet. She has very little grappling experience, and provided the UFC PI in Mexico just burnt down, you have an incredible edge here to get Fatima Klein on a decision win here against Melissa Martinez. All right, we're going to move on to the next fight. And the next fight is going to be Mike Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. Mike Davis, is a great grappler, strong boxing. Mitch Martinez is very chinny. And I'm glad that this guy could come back after that potential cardio letdown from his previous fight. This guy, Mike. Following fight is going to be, this is absolutely not in order. I don't know if you guys know, but the UFC website and Tapology, everything's out of order for this fight. It's pretty wild. We're going to go with Jake Matthews, Chidi Njokuani. Jake Matthews, he's got the upside on the, let's just go with the striking. I know Chidi's cutting down weight. He believes to be much stronger the stronger fighter, much faster, and his clinch game is there. He ain't going to work Jake Matthews against the clinch because Jake is going straight to the body. Jake will take this down. Jake can potentially submit Chidi. Jake has taken hits where Gilbert Burns has said that one of the hardest punchers he's ever faced was Michael Morales. And Jake did an incredible job in that fight against Michael. All right, so we move on. We're going now with Kennedy Nzechukwu, Valter Walker. We know Valter Walker's got that offensive wrestling. We know that. He ain't taking down Kennedy without Kennedy bouncing back up to his feet. What you saw Talbot and Lima, yes, okay, there's a lot of tape on Valter Walker from the regional scene. There's a lot of tape on these fighters. Actually, this entire This entire fight card, you can see, has a lot of veterans on it. Three that hold, strong rankings, and a lot of history already, where you can just watch film and see what the nicks and crannies are for each fighter. All right, we could loop the gears and get them turning here. Look at Nate Landwehr, how much tape there is. Morgan Charriere. I mean, Morgan Charriere could take you down. If Nate Wilder has no cardio in the second round, he's going down. I'd like Charriere here to get a submission. Charriere is the guy that you must bet here. At 37 years of age, there's an incredible edge here in not just the speed, but also the power. And you saw that against the young 35-year-old in Charles Do Bronx against Topuria. Morgan Charriere is game. All right, let's see. We also have Max Griffin, Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is coming off so many injuries. He's coming off surgeries, anything from PCL to foot fractures, to a neck issue. And don't get me wrong, Max Griffin, he's had his issues too with his ACL, but he's been training hard. He's been good. He's rehabbed out of any program, any protocol over a year and a half now. Max Griffin is very strong, and he's made for the weight class. There's a reason why Chris Curtis was fighting at middleweight, and that's because of the speed. Okay, and a lot of these fighters in the middleweight, when they clinch you or engage you to offensively wrestle you, there is that speed you do not have that a welterweight does, that could really hurt you. It's just a twitch and a second there for a double leg, and it's game over for you. If you saw Max Griffin scramble with Tim Means, you'd be surprised at how well he was, how effective he was. Just think about what it would be for Robert Whittaker to dive on Chris Curtis, or Rainier de Ritter. You got Hamzat Chimaev diving on Chris Curtis. This is just the way it works. So Chris Curtis thought he had an edge, and that's why he would hook and be able to defend against the octagon wall. Good for him. But I would never put my money on a minus 300 favorite. Absolutely not. Yeah, I can't. I got to take Max Griffin. You got to take Max Griffin. You got to take Jake Matthews. There's no way. All right. We got Junior Tafa. Junior Tafa, what a fighter, man. This guy, he actually moved down in weight because he wants to be faster. He wants to be stronger against George Tokkos, who was already put out. George Tokkos will be very undersized. And, that's all she wrote, man. That's a good line. Minus 170. People are going to be apprehensive to even bet it. They'll skip. They'll say, hey, I'd rather bet on anybody else, like Vitor Petrino at heavyweight. I think Austin Lane is game. Vitor's only 27 years old. Well, I mean, how much IQ would he have anyway? At heavyweight, you need IQ, believe it or not, man. There are shot sequences. There is grappling, wrestling that you could employ in your game to exploit your opponent for their suffering cardio, for all the power they have, and just, guiding that elsewhere. And I think Austin Lane is technical enough for that. He's proven it in 2 of his last fights, okay? Despite the last one not going his way. This year, his age is just a number at heavyweight. I got Austin Lane on the money line, okay? We're making money this fight card. If you bet this the way I'm suggesting it, I'm looking forward to cashing, right? So let me see. And then we have Calvin Kattar, Steve Garcia. I expressed to you guys in the beginning of this video that counter right that put out Steve Garcia is something that I believe now is actually foreshadowing what could happen here with Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar does not do well with counters. Now, Calvin's got good boxing, but Steve Garcia's got great kickboxing and grappling. He's got a great back take, and he's an offensive grappler. Calvin Kattar, he sits on his back. It is what it is. He's got good grappling. I won't take that away, but if you see his videos on Instagram reels and so on and so forth, you can see he's trained that. I think he's a coach as well, not just for fighters and other promotions, but I think in his own gym. So in his own right, I also believe he holds a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So there's an ad going on right now where he's actually choking Dan Ige. And that's not for nothing, right? However, he's too comfortable off his back. And I think that Steve Garcia poses a great opportunity there to put out Calvin Kattar or submit Calvin Kattar and rank up. Here's the thing too, guys, I want you to pay attention to. In the rankings right now, the 14th and 15th place is Calvin Kattar and Dan Ige. Dan Ige is going to fight Patricky Pitbull. That guy has to rank. Patricky Pitbull's winning that fight. He's really good. He's really good. He got to rank. Okay, so there goes the number 14th on Dan Ige. And then you got someone else who has to rank, right? You have Steve Garcia, Calvin Kattar, right? And then down the line, you have Aaron Pico, Movsar Evloev. But Movsar Evloev will have a number on the 28-year-old prospect in Aaron Pico. And I think that's it for featherweight, at least for this third quarter of UFC, third quarter of the year. All right? Gene Silva's already ranked, as you guys know, so on and so forth. And then we have another opportunity for ranking, fellas. Another opportunity. We got Derek Lewis, Talisson Teixeira. Derek Lewis's volume, very low. You know what that shot sequence is like. That right hand, he's putting you out. He's getting you out of there. He's gone to decision with Francis Ngannou, and I think he is in shape for this fight. However, Talisson's reach is way too long, and I love here what could potentially be an armbar finish on Derek Lewis, and that's Talisson Teixeira's grappling. Yes, I know his record is padded. I understand that, but he's a grappler, and he can strike. You've seen it. All right, so Derek Lewis is definitely not the guy. I don't think he's the guy that could put Talisson Teixeira out. I'd like Teixeira to win this fight. I know Derek Lewis is a dog. You can't pass him up, but he did lose that fight to this fighter in this ex-rugby player. Come on, what's your name? The Shui fighter. Man, I haven't seen that boy in so long, since Marcin Tybura submitted him. Is it crazy? I can't believe I lost it. Talisson Teixeira, I'd like him to fight Salsa Boy. You know, he just fought on this last card, UFC 316 in Newark. That's what I'd like to see here, and let's get it. All right, so you heard it here first. Pro Schmo Bets